This is IMT News.
देखती आंखों सुनते कानों आपको रशंदा जाहिद का सलाम। आप देख रहे हैं IMT न्यूज फ्रॉम लंदन। मुख्तार पानीवाला एक मेहनती, हमदर्द और खिदमत खल्क के जज्बे से सरशार शख्सियत हैं। अपनी जिंदगी के तजर्बात और जद्दोजहद के जरिए उन्होंने ये साबित किया कि अगर नीयत नेक हो तो हर मुश्किल आसान हो जाती है। वो बरसों से माजूर अफराद की खिदमत में मसरूफ अमल हैं और इनके मसाइल को समझकर इनके हुकूक के लिए जद्दोजहद कर रहे हैं। उन्होंने मुख्तलिफ फलाही इदारों और समाजी तंजीमों के साथ मिलकर दर्जनों ऐसे मंसूबे मुकम्मल किए जो माजूर अफराद की जिंदगी में आसानी लाएं। इनकी रहनुमाई में दर्जनों लोगों को व्हील चेयर, आले समात, छड़ी, माली मदद और मुख्तलिफ तरबियती मौके फराहम किए गए हैं। मुख्तार पानीवाला की जिंदगी एक मिसाल है कि किसी भी कम्युनिटी की खिदमत दिल से की जाए तो तब्दीली जरूर आती है। उन्हें न सिर्फ यूनिवर्सल मेमन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बल्कि पूरी मेमन कम्युनिटी फख्र से देखती है। मुख्तार पानीवाला की मुतासिर कुन सवाने उम्री कई अकसाद पर मुश्तमिल है। देखते रहिए और हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए।
आइए देखते हैं पार्ट 5।
Hello and welcome to today's episode. My name is Mukhtar Pani Wala, President of the Disabled Wing at Universal Memon Organization. I'm grateful you've joined me because today we're diving into a subject that impacts many families and communities: multiple disabilities. We'll talk about what this term means, its types, what to look for, approaches to treatment, and what kinds of training or facilities can help people live with dignity and hope. Let's begin with a clear definition. When we say multiple disability, we are talking about someone who has more than one major disability at the same time. For example, a person may have an intellectual disability along with blindness, or a movement disorder along with autism. It isn't just two simple problems happening together. It's two or more significant conditions that make daily life and learning much more complex. The crucial thing is that the combination of these disabilities makes the person's needs much more severe than if they only had one issue. Someone with just a vision impairment, for instance, could go to a school for the blind. But if they also have an intellectual or motor disability, they'd need a very specialized program. So let's walk through some common types of multiple disabilities. The combinations can be almost endless, but I'll explain some of the types you're likely to see. The first and one of the most common examples is intellectual disability with a sensory impairment, such as blindness or deafness. In this case, a child or adult may struggle both to understand information and to see or hear what's happening around them. That makes communication and daily life especially challenging. Another example is an intellectual disability paired with an orthopedic impairment. Orthopedic impairments can mean challenges in moving the body or coordinating movements. This could be due to conditions like cerebral palsy or muscular dystrophy. When two such conditions happen together, learning even basic self-care skills like dressing or feeding oneself often requires an individualized approach. You can also see combinations like autism with a motor disability or a developmental delay alongside a speech impairment. Occasionally, there will be three or more areas affected. It's important to know that not all combinations count as multiple disabilities under certain rules. For example, deaf-blindness, the combination of being deaf and blind, is recognized as its own special category. What about causes? Sometimes there are clear reasons like a lack of oxygen at birth, infections, chromosomal abnormalities, premature birth, genetic conditions, or accidents. But sometimes no one really knows the cause. And sometimes one disability is present from birth and another develops after an illness or injury. In day-to-day life, how do these multiple disabilities show up? The symptoms and challenges depend on the kind and severity of each impairment. Many people with multiple disabilities may have trouble communicating. Maybe they can't speak clearly, or they need an alternative device to express themselves. There can be difficulty moving around, problems with balance and coordination, needing to be helped with basic activities like eating, dressing, or using the toilet. Some may also have seizures, frequent medical complications, or emotional difficulties such as withdrawal, aggression, or anxiety. Think about this. A child who can't see, can't hear well, and can't move easily will need a very carefully designed setting and a lot of patience and skill from caregivers and teachers. Let's talk treatment and support. There isn't a simple cure, and most people with multiple disabilities need a mix of approaches. Doctors, therapists, special educators, psychologists all become part of the team. A good rehabilitation plan might combine physical therapy to help with movement. speech therapy to help communicate, occupational therapy, which teaches daily living skills, and behavioral support to deal with frustration or anxiety. Success is measured not by comparing the person to regular people their age, but by tracking the small steps they make over time. Maybe learning to eat with a spoon, use simple words, or move around with assistance. Families and support networks make all the difference. The more understanding and encouragement a child or adult receives, the more they can achieve. One thing that stands out is that every individual's needs and abilities are different, so treatment and education must be tailored to them. There isn't a one-size-fits-all, and sometimes regular schools or standard disability services are not enough. This is where specialized training and facilities come in. In India and elsewhere, you can find special schools and centers dedicated to helping people with multiple disabilities. Many offer early intervention for young children, which is so important for better long-term outcomes. Some work with adults too, teaching vocational skills or simple tasks based on what the person can handle. Technology is playing a bigger role now. There are devices to help with communication, screen readers for vision loss, adaptive equipment for those with movement problems, and lots more. Equally important are life skills training programs, teaching things like grooming, household chores, or how to ride in public transport safely. Sometimes families can get training as well so they know how best to support their loved one at home. When it comes to facilities, look for those that don't just provide care, but also educate and empower. A good center for multiple disabilities will have wheelchair access, modified bathrooms, trained staff, therapy rooms, and fun, positive environments. They should also work closely with families, because real progress happens when care continues at home. Awareness in society is slowly growing, but we still have a long way to go. People with multiple disabilities can live full lives, working, learning, sharing joy and laughter when they get the right help at the right time. But they need opportunities and respect, not just sympathy. So, as we wrap up, think about this. Every person with multiple disabilities is someone's son or daughter, brother or sister, and they deserve chances and choices. If you're a parent, a relative, or a teacher, seek support and training. Don't try to do it all alone. And if you work in the community, advocate for facilities and programs that meet these complex needs. Thank you for listening and learning with me today. Multiple disabilities bring real challenges, but also moments of hope, growth, and pride. With compassionate care, supportive families, trained professionals, and the right facilities, people with multiple disabilities can discover their strengths and live with dignity and happiness.
Rakshinda Zahid, IMT News, London.